Duke the props, week number 9. Holden and Tyler. How are you, Tyler? We got a lot. I threw a ton of bets in the Discord. So get ready, buddy. I got a lot for week number 9. I think only one for tonight. I know you got one for tonight's game. We'll do Thursday night football at the end because people will be watching this on Friday, Saturday, maybe even Sunday for the numbers. But boy, you placed a bet this week that I wanted to start off with. Because the number moved, and I laughed at you, and I said, "Why are you doing this?" But I want to talk.
Let's do it.
I want to talk about your bet from earlier in the week because I'm sitting here in Discord. Tyler actually hits me up in chat now. I love it. You know, we're in communication. We're doing the show, and he goes, "Jordan Love MVP 20-1." I don't remember something in the realm of ha 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 ha.
You basically told me I was a dumbass.
You're not really going to bet that, are you? And he's like, yeah, I'm betting that it's 20-1. I said, okay, good job. Way to go. And then the number moved, and I believe now it's 10-1. So you got some nice value on that bet. Can you please explain to me how Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers is going to win the MVP?
I mean, you just put you start with the bullet points you need to win MVP in the NFL. You need to be a quarterback because no other position wins it. You need to win your division. They're more than likely going to do that. You need to be a 1 or a 2 seed in the NFC or the AFC. They're more than likely going to do that.
Okay.
Their schedule's not hard. And you just when you pull up the passing stats, he has had his bye already. So he has played 7 games. To every other quarterback in the top 10 has played 8 except for Stafford. He is 9th in yards at 1,800. The leader's at 2,100 with a game ahead of him, so he could technically be up there. He has a 13-2 touchdown to interception ratio. He's 4 touchdowns off the lead. He has the least interceptions of a starting quarterback. He's throwing 70% completion percentage. It's going to be one of those ones where if the Chiefs just cruise, Mahomes probably wins it in a landslide. But I really want to have that Jordan Love ticket in my pocket because if the Chiefs can't catch your Denver Broncos in the end and they don't win the division, they're going to look to pivot away from Mahomes, and I don't think it's going to go to Josh Allen. They're going to look on the other side, and Jordan Love's going to be the guy waiting for him.
They're going to look at Allen. They're going to look at Drake May. They're going to look at Matthew Stafford.
Don't you think those two kind of vulture each other away, though, Allen and May?
No.
If Allen beats May in their rematch, Allen moves up, May moves down.
Okay. But if May continues to do what he's done all year, which is the most efficient quarterback in the NFL, which is mind-blowing, he's going to stay in it too.
No, I agree. But my worry, I think the Patriots are good. I think they're flying a little higher than they should be, and that's going to start to come back down to earth. So I think he starts to tear off. Green Bay always hits this strong stretch in December too. Like once we get through November and December, you're going to see them rip off like 8 straight wins. They do it every year in December. Like LaFleur's record in December is ridiculous. This 20-1 is going to slowly chip down. It chip down to 10-1 on FanDuel. Then it'll be 6. Then it'll be 5.
Okay.
And then he'll be 3-1 with the rest of the guys.
Then you can go cash out.
Maybe.
go make some money and watch Mahomes win the whole thing. Yeah.
Like listen, you compare he's at Josh Allen beating every stat metric this year by a mile. Comes down to them two. Jordan Love should get it.
Yeah.
Drake May, maybe you could argue the stats beat him. Mahomes is going to get it because of his name. I want that Jordan Love ticket in my pocket.
Okay, can we just put the Jonathan Taylor MVP talk to rest?
It's never gonna happen.
I get it. 50-1. We're on him 50-1. That's great. That's a wonderful number. We love betting numbers. He's down to like 14-1.
Congrats on wasting money on betting him 50-1 to win MVP when you could have got him 50-1 to win Offensive Player of the Year preseason.
Well, that's
minus 250 to cruise to.
Yeah, if he doesn't get hurt. He's minus 250 on FanDuel to win Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
JSN is 6-1. People just, okay, he's on bye. Let's just forget he went over 100 yards every week, and I got a bet on him once again this week. He's at 6-1. CMC 14-1. Puka 14-1.
That's the guy. That's the guy right there.
Right?
If he never got hurt, there's a chance JT is not minus 250, and Puka's the favorite right now.
Is JT going to score 3 touchdowns a game for the rest of the season? Because if he is, then fine. Let's go bet his MVP right now.
We're gonna have a battle this week because one, The Colts are going to play the Steelers. And
Uh-huh.
you look at that, it goes, oh, yeah, easy game. This defense stinks. This is going to be the game where the Colts are -3. Everyone's going to jump on the Colts. We're going to see if the Colts are real right here. If Jonathan Taylor's running through giant gaps again and this defense just can't do anything, then the Colts are for real. But I can see the Steelers upsetting the apple cart right here. It's the thing they do.
Yep. I still like JSN and Puka, though. They've got to be in the mix. And if Taylor does not have a big game and JSN goes for 150 or Puka comes back and goes, 10 for 150, all these numbers are going to be jumbled up. There's no way that this is a runaway freight train and the OPOY is over. Jonathan Taylor has not wrapped this thing up yet whatsoever. Not happening. Let's talk about week 9, though. I'm going to get into my plays. I got a lot of them, buddy. I think I got 5, which for me is a lot. You and I kind of on a correlation here. For me, it's Amon-Ra over 6.5 receptions, -114 on FanDuel. You liked his yards. What did you like about Amon-Ra before I get in on this?
I mean, they're playing Minnesota. It's a blitz-heavy defense. Goff's going to look to get the ball out early.
Yep.
He runs a lot of the short routes, which is good for Goff. And he has shredded this Viking defense in recent matchups. I just think it's another spot where he's going to go to his guy. He went back to him last week after they had the debacle with the drops the week before. He cleared 100 easily in the first half. I just think they know what works. Jameson Williams kind of faded off this year, too. He's not much of anything out of that wide receiver 2 spot. So I think he just go to their guy, and they go to Amon-Ra St. Brown here. He's going to get the targets, probably 12 of them. He's going to get the catches. So I like the yards here. I don't mind your catches call either.
Yeah, he's just so efficient.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like, they'll throw to him 10 times a game. He'll catch 9 of them. Yeah. And I got some numbers to back that up, but I'm just looking at the line as it stands right now, and it's still 6.5. The only thing that moved was a little bit of juice. You could still get it at -120 at Sugar House, Bet Rivers Canby. And then you're paying a little more juice. Once you get up to that, past that 120 range, we get a little uncomfortable, but it's still hovering around there. And I just want to give you some numbers. 43.5% first read target share. So when your quarterback is trying to go somewhere first, very important stat, 4th in the NFL. 43.5%. When he throws it, he's looking at Amon-Ra first almost half the time. 88.5% catchable rate. And I love this because he's not really a big deep threat, right? He can, but 88.5% catchable rate. That means your quarterback's just putting it right on you. That's number 3. His target share is 33.6%, 6th in the NFL. He's averaging almost 9 targets, and he's got 1 drop the whole year. So over 6.5 for me is a no-brainer.
Love it.
That's the first one. And you got the yards. I didn't post it because by the time I'd gotten it in there, it was already a yard or 2 off. Will you take the yards at the current number, 2 yards up, or would you just stay away from that?
I don't mind it. I mean, this is his game logs against the Vikings. 6 for 77, 8 for 112, 7 for 144, 12 for 106, 6 for 68, 6 for 73, 10 for 86, and 7 for 65. The targets are there. He's getting a bunch of catches, and the yards are there. So I'm just going to go back to the yards.
Yeah, it's best.
This might be another one. Ladder him up to 100.
Best number now as we record this Thursday, 74.5 -115 at MGM. That's the best number you're going to get, would be at MGM. The next one would be Justin Herbert over 13.5 rush yards. And this really goes back to me reading an article last week, getting on his rush yards last week too, where they're forcing design runs for him. He has an awful offensive line because they are completely in shambles due to injuries. He's got no one protecting him. Now, what's the counter argument? Oh, the Titans don't get pressure. They are designing runs for this guy, and I still think they're going to get a little bit of pressure on him because this offensive line is that bad. So I thought this number is probably 4 to 5 yards off the way he's been running lately. Justin Herbert over 13.5 rush yards, -110 at MGM. I don't know if you got an opinion on it, but again, the big ding here would be the Titans and their lack of pressure. But I think overshadowing that is the offensive line of the Chargers.
No, I like that call. I think that's a good spot. He's got to run. Like, Vidal's a decent running back, but those are against bad teams. So we've yet to see that dude run the ball against a good team and play well. Herbert's going to get blitzed. They know that that's the weakness. So he's got to use his legs. He's a big dude, too, so he can take a hit. He's not scared to take a hit down the field, too. We've seen that. So he will run, and I like that prop. I think he gets over that.
You think he gets over there? Okay. The next one, going back to the well on Jaxon Smith-Njigba. They jacked it up to 27.5 yards. Fine. Last week was the first time, it was 2 weeks ago was the first time he didn't get his number, although there was a book, I think it was FanDuel, that dropped it to 25.5. So the over 26 hit, but the 27 didn't hit. He's just good for it. That's all. He's getting a 40-yard catch every freaking game. I wish I could ladder this thing. There's just nowhere I can find a ladder longest reception. If you guys can find it, throw it in the chat, please. Please let me know where you can do that, because I'd be doing that every week with Smith-Njigba. Over 27.5 longest catch, -112 FanDuel. Now, I had a talk with Keg about this. Like, if you're going to bet the longest reception, why don't you bet his yards? His yards are at 94.5.
He could easily catch a ball for 30 yards and not get to 90.
Right?
But I see where he's coming from, too. Like, the dude's the number one target. He gets all the looks.
Yes.
It's just that number's ballooned up so high since we were getting it before.
Yeah. 94.5. I'm seeing it at 97.5 over a DK.
Can't do
90. This thing is going to close at 96.5, 97.5 around the industry.
I'm not clicking under, but I'm not clicking over. That's one of the ones you scroll past and say kudos to you for setting the number.
It's too much. It's just too much for me. I think he gets a 30, 35-yard catch. Yeah. But that still leaves us 60-something yards off the number. And it's entirely possible he has 2 20-yard catches on top of that and goes over it. Mm-hmm. I just think the longest reception is the one that's been hitting more often than not. So I'm going to stick with that.
I like that call. I got one I was looking at just now.
What?
Let's go back to my MVP guy, Jordan Love. His passing yards are set at 233.5 this week, Holden. He went for 360 last week. The week before that, he played the Cardinals. He only completed 19 passes. He had a $180 there. Then Cincy, he threw for 260. The Dallas game, he threw for 340. That debacle in Cleveland, he had a $183. And then Washington, he had 292. I think this is a spot where Carolina, after last week what James Cook did to them, I think that they kind of just try and pin back the rush game. Also, Josh Jacobs is a little banged up. They kind of want to get off of him right now with the calf injury. You don't want to hurt that man with the playoff run coming up. So I think they throw the ball more. They're getting wide receivers back also. 233 seems a little low here. So I'll take the over on Jordan Love. Interesting you brought this up about Jacobs, because a guy that I was looking at earlier in the week is Emmanuel Wilson, and his number hasn't moved. That's Jacobs' backup, 30.5 rushing yards. It just felt a little high for me. Like, he could definitely get the 31. No doubt about it. But it's one I couldn't pull the trigger on. I think he gets more work against Carolina, too. I agree. My worry, though, because I looked at that same thing right before we started. Mm-hmm. Last week was the only week he got above 6 carries, or he had 8 carries in the Dallas game. But everything else maxes out at 6. Yeah. And then last week was 11 against the Steelers. Maybe that's the showing that this is going to be more of a 60-40 split. I think I want another week of data on that before I start to click that button and bet it. Okay. Yeah, you can get ahead of it and win it, but I think I want to wait. Okay, so Jordan Love over 231.5 -17 at Bet Rivers, Canby, Sugar House. Yep. All right, I'll put that in the chat. Thursday night football, pal. Before we get into Thursday night football, I want to let you guys know we got a special for you. Never a better time to sign up than now, because this special is going away next week. Nuke30 is the code. Go to nukehouse.com/pricing. Enter the code Nuke30. Sign up for a weekly, monthly, or annual subscription. Use that code. We're going to give you 30% off. And on top of that, you get a free week. 1 week, you get 2 weeks plus 30% off. A month, 30% off, and you get 5 weeks. A year, get you into next year and then some. So again, 30% off any package, 1 free week, nukehouse.com/pricing. Nuke30 is the code. Thursday night football, Ravens, Dolphins, down south. What you got for me, Tyler? I think this is a slaughter. I think the Ravens come out. I think this is similar to Buffalo, Carolina. Ravens are kind of stumbling right now. They need a win in the worst way possible. They're getting guys back off the injury report. They're playing a team coming off a win that feels good about themselves. I think that Derrick Henry runs right through this defense. We're right back to fading this Miami rush defense. And Lamar just shreds them through the air because he has done that his entire career against this Miami team. This is just a team. He has their number. He just lights them up. I think that this is just a slaughter. I'm on the 7.5. I'm on the 4.5 first half. I'm on some Henry props. We'll talk about those. I'm on some Zay Flowers. I just think it's a Baltimore showcase game.
Well, let's start with Zay Flowers. 66.5 minus 115 at BetMGM. You like him, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, we should have won this last week, Holden. We got the quarterback yanked on us on Saturday. He still gets the 60 yards. That just showed me that, yeah, Zay Flowers is still the guy. And this Miami defense can't cover anything either. If they're going to go the route they went of last week of we're just going to put 8 in the box, we're going to stop Henry, Lamar's just going to shred them with Andrews, with Zay Flowers, with Bateman, and even with Likely. So I want to be on his number one guy in Zay Flowers at 68.
Yeah, I think that number's 7 or 8 yards off.
I agree.
I really think it is. So I'll be telling you after this. Zay Flowers, 66.5 minus 115. What's next?
The other one, I got a couple game specials. If you go on FanDuel and you go to the rushing section, there's game specials down at all the way at the bottom. There's one. Derrick Henry to rush for 50 yards in each half. They get up big in this game. As long as it's not a 40-point lead in the second half, he's going to get some carries, of course. It's not just going to be Keaton Mitchell and Justice Hill. And we all know Derrick Henry's good for one big run. So he gets us one in the first half, and all of a sudden that big run comes in the second half. That 50 in each half at plus 320 is not a bad look. And the other one I was eyeing up, it's plus 550. Derrick Henry and Lamar to combine for 200 rushing yards. I know Lamar's coming off the tweaked hamstring. I'm not sure how much he's actually going to have to help us with this, to be honest. I think Derrick Henry might get close to 150 to where all we need is Lamar to get close to 50 for us. So I'm going to take that shot on those two to combine for 200.
So my last one is going to be a Thursday night play too, and it's going to be Mark Andrews. And I know this is going to be really, really uncomfortable for a lot of people to want to go to him, just like it was uncomfortable for me to go to Kelsey a couple of weeks ago, ended up hitting. So Andrews is great against man coverage throughout his career, and even when he sucked as of late recently. Miami runs a ton of man coverage. That's the first thing that I found. Second of all, Likely really has not been a thing. And I don't understand why. He's been extremely inefficient when he has gotten the ball. So now we're looking at Andrews with Lamar Jackson back. His guy is back, and he is still the safety blanket for Lamar Jackson. So that's it. And then a team that runs a lot of too high like Miami, he gets more volume. So again, nobody's going to like this. You're not going to like it, Tyler. Nobody's going to like this. But for tonight's game, and I saw this bounce around because it's at 31.5 at BetMGM, 28.5 at FanDuel, 27.5 minus 115 at Sugar House. It's 4 yards lower than MGM. So just on that, you're getting a nice chunk. I think Mark Andrews tonight gets his 30 yards, goes over this number, 1 unit. Mark Andrews, Baltimore at Miami. Andrews gets us there.
I love it. I mean,
do you really? I'm surprised.
Look at his. All right. So week 1, he plays with Lamar. He has 1 catch for 5 yards. That game in Buffalo was just chaos from start to finish. Henry's running all over the place. Buffalo's coming back. He got lost in the shuffle. Then they played Cleveland. He has 3 targets, 1 catch for 2 yards. Cleveland's defense has been one of the better ones this year. Then that Detroit game, 6 targets, 6 catches, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's almost like they were like, all right, let's get our guys back involved. And Kansas City has 8 targets, 7 catches, 30 yards. They kind of got blown out in that game. Then Lamar goes down, 22, 24 yards, 34 yards, never cracks more than 3 catches. Lamar's back. He's going to go to his guys. His guys are Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, and Mark Andrews. And you're getting that Mark Andrews number way too low, I think. I wouldn't mind holding him up to maybe 50. I think this could be a big game for Mark Andrews. And you're getting plus 310 on that 50.
Right, so pump the brakes, buddy. I'm uncomfortable enough betting his number, which is a good bet.
Normally the ones that are uncomfortable are the ones that are pretty easy, Holden.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a sprinkle on like 30.
You ever go make that DFS lineup or something and go, man, that's ugly. And then you click submit and you look and you're like, which one's winning money? And it's the one you didn't think could do it.
Yeah, the optimizer gives it to me, and I'm like, what? Justin Fields? And
Like, why would I ever click this button?
Yeah, why would I ever do that? But I did it. So Mark Andrews, let's hit that. So just as a recap, and if you got any more, give them to me. But my recap is this: Amon-Ra over 6.5 receptions. That's still live. Herbert over 13.5 rush yards. I got to see if where that number is now. Dobbins, did I tell you about J.K. Dobbins over 57.5 rush yards?
You didn't talk about that one.
This again, like JSN is one guy I go to every week. Dobbins is another guy I've gone to just about every week. Now, this is a tough matchup. There's no doubt about it. The Texans defense is a lot better. When you dig into the numbers, they're pretty good against the pass, they're pretty good against the run. But this has been one of the top 4 most explosive running backs out there this year. When you just look at the big runs too, and I kind of want to look at his longest rush, but I'm not going to do that. When we had a guy that's number was right around 70 last week, and I get it. I totally get it. This is a much tougher matchup this week than the Cowboys were last week. J.K. Dobbins to get 58 rush yards is not really asking that much. So that's minus 118 at MGM, minus 115 if anybody has Hard Rock. That's where I bet it on Hard Rock. 57.5, minus 115. I think it's good up to minus 120. That's where I'd go. JSN longest reception, 27.5 yards to the over, minus 12. Andrews, Thursday Night Football, 27.5 to the over, minus 18. You got Love and then a bunch of Thursday night stuff.
Yep. Love, a bunch of Thursday night stuff, and some Lamar-Ra.
I want to throw that in there right now. So
just a little counter argument on your Dobbins pick, because you're more of a Denver guy than me. You'll have a better feel on this.
Yeah.
Do we think RJ Harvey might have not took over the backfield last week, but that showing just is going to push more in his favor?
I think as the season goes on, that RJ Harvey is going to continue to get mixed in a bit more.
Yeah, and I know Houston's a much different defense than what they just played in Dallas. I think Harvey fits that game better because going between the tackles against them, good luck. You're going to have to get out in space and maybe even throw the ball to the running back in this one. So I think Harvey might be the better look, but I could be wrong on that. You're the Denver guy. You're the Denver whisperer.
Here's the problem that I still don't think they trust him enough to give him more than 5 carries in a really tight game, maybe 6.
Yeah.
And Nix is going to run a little bit too. But if you look at the Harvey rushing props this week, it's 5.5 plus 115 to the over. So I'm thinking 4, 5, 6 carries. That's not going to be enough on Dobbins to take away. Dobbins has been so explosive this year. It's just the reason why I've liked Harvey so much is because at some point in time, the Dobbins train is going to stop rolling.
Yeah, the wheels start to fall off, literally.
Right? I don't think the Texans come in and blow out the Broncos. I don't see that happening. And Dobbins' rushing prop, his rush attempts is 14.5. So to me, he's getting between 13 and 16 carries. Harvey's going to get between 4 and 6. 13 to 6. Let's say he gets 15 carries and he averages only 4 yards a run. That's 60 yards right there. And that's only 4 yards per carry.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. My worry though is like, it's just all I could picture is some Saints teams from back in the day when Sean Payton was the coach. If Harvey gets out there and maybe the first 2 series busts a run for 15 yards, all of a sudden Harvey's still on the field when it's supposed to be Dobbins.
It didn't happen. Yeah, he got 7 carries last week. I get it. It was also a blowout.
7 carries, 3 touchdowns.
It was a blowout.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is a blowout. So how many of those snaps actually came in blowout time?
A bit.
So it says it here. Hovering around 25% snaps, the only difference he received 3 goal line snaps after not playing on 11 goal line snaps the week before.
When we're talking about over-unders, we don't care about goal line.
Yeah, we need yards. We're not on the goal line.
Tough matchup. I get it. I think this line should be closer to 61.5 than 57.5. Let me also make sure that number is still there as I'm giving it out because that's a Sunday game. But rushing yards.
Did you say 58?
57.5 minus 114 at DraftKings, 57.5 minus 115 at Bet River Sugar House, 60.5 everywhere else.
Yep.
Give it to me. All right, pal. We did it again. We got it done. Sunday, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, Sunday Night Football. All free for you guys. Monday Night Football will be broadcasting live for that as well. I think next Thursday my Broncos are on, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Yep.
But nukethehouse.com/pricing, 30% off and a free week with the code nuke30. Any plan, sign up. You can always cancel the plan if you're not happy, but we have an extremely high retention rate here at Nuke the House. Tyler, good seeing you, buddy.
Yep, let's crush
Let's
these
go
pros
nuke it this week. Let's go nuke it, bro. It's gonna be great. Later.